Gift of a Servant by Tamara Amos. Illustrated by David W. Lubert. Published in 2013 by Mystical Rose. Read by Brian Page. All good giving and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father. James 1:17. A Christmas Eve not long ago, I sat alone at my window, people watching, but I was mostly gazing bleakly at the snow. I don't hesitate to say that on that blustering Advent day, though I longed for cheer, for peace to adhere, the Christmas spirit was far away. As the hurried shoppers all passed by, a gleam of madness in their eyes, I couldn't help but ask myself if Santa Claus was the reason why. Mirrored in a candlestick that had lost the light upon its wick, my sad heart mourned a friend of yore, for what had become of good Saint Nick. I remembered him, a childhood dream, who for me once had seemed the essence of Christmas love, so pure and good, generous and holy. But this new man upon the signs, on every TV and every mind, was not the same, did not contain the peace and joy of that same kind. For hysteria pervaded the hearts of men. Buy, 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 spend, spend, spend. A cultural norm in a commercial form had replaced our good and holy friend. Indignation rose within me, overflowed and re-entered in me. Who was this Claus who was the cause of this superficial frenzy? My mind began to devise a plan, face to face, to tell this man the harm he's done to God's own Son. His resignation I would demand. All the night I did not sleep, a crusader's vigil I did keep. My anger burned, and then I heard the sound above of reindeer feet. For a moment I was paralyzed with the anticipation of old Christmas nights. The child within me stirred excitedly, and I forgot all that I had devised. I stood there waiting in awe and fear for those soot-black boots to appear. Then from thin air he materialized there, crimson-red suit and snow-white beard. His eyes of blue saw me then, and awkwardly I began to remember my righteous anger, my mission for my fellow man. Santa Claus, what have you wrought? Anxiety is our Christmas lot. Christmas spirit, we cannot feel it. Our peace is gone, and it's all your fault. And our poor kids, what do they have but materialism to drive them mad? The toys, the stuff. I've had enough. Poor Christ in heaven must be so sad. Good Saint Nick, I do implore, these aren't the simple days of yore. Men nowadays are in a craze. Enough is not. They must have more. So if you have a spark within of pity for the little children, you'll take your leave without retrieve and give God's birthday back to Him. The old man heaved a breath so long, one that knew a world of wrong. And in that sigh I heard the cry of suffering so great he'd taken on. The children was all that he intoned, not so much word as much as moan. Take my hand and understand that your concern for them is not alone. He reached out his welcoming hand to me as I stood there accusingly. Though strong my grudge, a gentle nudge drove me the gesture to appease. I took his hand, my eyes met his, but so much more, my soul that is, and a symbolic vision of his mission flashed before me in powerful images. I saw a sea of children crying, abused, neglected, ill, and dying. So much pain did remain for these little ones justice was denying. Then a man came forth to them from the sky to earth again. Christ the Lord, the Father's word, rushed to them with outstretched hands. But men appeared and held them back. Don't let them go. That man is mad. Others came and did the same. The Son of God is too good for that. He raised his voice authoritatively. Let the children come to me, and do not hinder, for remember, my kingdom belongs to such as these. The scene that I saw next held joy, for every girl and every boy stood round the Lord, who did reward their childlike innocence with love unalloyed. He smiled at one and healed another, an apple for him, a kiss for the other. They laughed and played all the day, but what happened next left them scared and befuddled. The same men came and crucified sweet Jesus right before their eyes. But he loves us, the children chorused as they rushed into his side. He gazed upon them lovingly with grateful eyes, then made a plea. Who will go and my love show these little ones for whom my heart weeps? A hero emerged from the jeering crowd. Here I am, he said aloud, with beard of white and blue eyes bright, in bold red suit stood proud. Hold my lambs within your heart. From my mercy, let them never part. Give gifts of love from heaven above, so they know how precious to me they are. He held them till the Savior died, and when the soldier pierced his side, a ray of light illumined the night. and on the head of this saint it came to abide. An angel descended to lay a kiss on the cheek of good Saint Nicholas, and on him bestowed God's grace to know a long life to carry out his wish. I came too, holding that age-old hand which God had blessed to hold his lambs. With true remorse, I said, "Of course, now I understand." Just as Jesus bore our shame, it was on you I put the blame, for our sin which let in the materialism of our day. The old man smiled, and in his gaze I found the peace of long-gone days. Then suddenly he winked at me and said, "The children cannot wait." He opened up his big brown sack. Bright wrapped presents he unpacked. Gifts of love from heaven above for my children who in nothing lacked. He placed them carefully beneath the tree, saying each name individually. He generously filled the stockings until they overflowed with their favorite candy. Tears streamed down my face when he turned to say goodbye to me. He reached out his hand. To him I ran and held him close to me. "I love you, Santa Claus," I sobbed, "and I want to help you do your job. What can I do to bring true Christmas spirit back to the mob?" I searched for wisdom in his face, and the feeling of a warm embrace encompassed my soul as he retold words meant for the whole human race. Hold his lambs within your heart. From his mercy, let them never part. Give gifts of love from heaven above, so they know how precious to him they are. And as he turned to take his leave, in his face my heart perceived what I'd missed before in but an instant or more, the face of Christ looking back at me. I fell down on my knees to pray, to thank the Lord that holy day, for saints and men our Father sends to help us on our way. Now, every day I stop and pause to reflect upon God's good laws. Love one another and be Christ to each other. For that was my gift from Santa Claus.